You know the drill, from the bottom to the top. Stay tuned, make sure you stay locked. We go beyond the chat. Yeah. We're not just talk. Beyond the chat. We're not just talk. Oh yes. Listen, I don't know if we ever gonna change our jingle.
Why?
That's what I'm saying.
It's almost like you can see people jamming on the other side.
I know. I can see it. I can see it. Oh my goodness. Listen, we appreciate you guys so much for your support, for being here, for tuning in. If you are watching us on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, beyondthechat.com, if you're on Twitch, wherever you are watching us, we want to say thank you from the very bottom of our hearts. Listen, this is season 2, episode number 7, and we're doing our thing. I'm loving what we're doing.
I love it too.
It started out as a conversation. It started out as something that, we were interested in doing. We wanted to see where it would go. And when I tell you that this has been amazing, it has been awesome. Shout out to our cousin Ken. What up, Ken?
What up?
Ken in the building.
Y'all gotta excuse me for sweating. I've been hustling. Like nonstop.
Yes.
And then but it's podcast time. So we gotta still do this thing.
Gotta do what we do.
But if I do this a few times, it's because I've been moving.
Yes. So we've had a busy weekend already, but a successful weekend. And that's what it's all about. So listen, make sure you start a Facebook watch party, subscribe to our channel Beyond the Chat. We have some amazing things that we've been doing and some amazing things that we're going to be doing. But tonight, we're so glad you have joined us in the studio because we are talking about family.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about husbands, wives, children, parents, nieces, nephews, cousins, and anybody else that I missed or didn't name. We're talking about them too.
Yeah, we're talking about family in general.
Yes.
So we're not just talking about our family. We're just talking about family in general.
We're talking about family in general.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll include some things about our family, which we have great families.
We have great families.
But we just want to talk about family because family is so important.
Absolutely. Family is the glue that keeps us together. When you have nobody else that you can talk to or turn to or depend on, when you have a loving and caring and genuine family, that's more than all the riches in the world, honestly, because you can have all the money in the world and be sad, miserable,
by yourself.
Yes. So tonight we are talking family. So make sure you send a quick text message to all your family, to all your children, everybody, and let them know that, listen, we're talking family tonight. This is an important conversation that I think everybody needs to have. And so listen, if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to join in, if you have something you want to say, if you think your family is the bomb, then we want to hear from you. So make sure you send us a text in the chat so that everybody can tune in on the conversation, or you can call us. The number is on your screen, 833-282-2428. We want to hear from you.
Holla.
So listen, as usual, we always start off with our thought of the week. So here's our thought about family. Like branches on a tree, we all grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one.
Well,
I just need to put that out there for myself. That felt good to me because it's so true. Think about you know, when you're raised in a family where you have, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 siblings, even one sibling, you're the only child, and your children, your parents raise you to be a certain way, to have a certain, to instill certain values and morals in you. Yet you still have to experience life for yourself. Yet those values that are instilled in you somehow keep playing in the back of your mind. And one child may get it one way, and another child may get it another way.
And it doesn't take much at all for you to instill something real simple in somebody's life by simply saying the right things at the right time.
That is so true. So can we just talk about, raising a successful family? That's our topic tonight. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the Rockefellers or the Joneses or whomever else, or, Beyonce and Jay-Z. No, that's not what a successful family is. A successful family, in my opinion, is one that has high expectations of one another, and it's not just put on one person. We tend to look at each other, our siblings, our aunts, our cousins, whatever, and we tend to sit back and just watch what they're doing, watch what they got going on. Like, I love the fact that when we hang out, since we have Ken on the chat with us, we hang out with Ken, he's all about, this is my family. I love my family. And, hey, family, let's do this. Let's do that. I got around this time, or let's get some dip and some chips and whatever. And I love that he has that heart and that spirit. And trust me, it's reciprocated. You tend to learn a person's demeanor and learn their heart just by being around them. You don't have to have a conversation with them. You can just sit back and pay attention.
Watch, listen, and learn.
Exactly. Which I love what a lot of people say about you. A lot of your family members always say, Terry never got in trouble, and Terry was always the good kid, and Terry is so talented. And not that they said it in this voice, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because guys in my family
don't talk like that. Okay, fine. But you get the picture. So it's always awesome to hear someone speak of you in such high regard. That makes me feel
and
really
it makes
good.
me feel good, which means do that to your family members.
Yes.
And this goes beyond family.
Right.
It's just the people around you, because everyone that's in your blood family is in your blood family. But there's people outside of that bloodline that's still your family.
Absolutely. That is so true. They don't have to have the same last name.
No.
Or they don't have to have, my aunt and my mom and your mom, just because they're sisters, or doesn't mean, that, nobody else can be in. There are people that are closer to you that are not necessarily related to you, that you take in as, a sibling, or you take in as a really good person that you call a friend, or that you call a loved one. The Bible says a friend sticks closer than a brother. So, I think that a lot of things that we experience in life, or that we go through in life, is not just to make our family stronger, or to make our children stronger, or our loved ones stronger. It is a collective community input.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And community, meaning in your nucleus, your circle.
Right.
And when you have a circle that is tight-knit circle,
right,
you can always build into that circle with people that you bring in just by keeping them up.
Absolutely. That's so true. So I wrote down a few things that I want to talk about raising a successful family. So Ken say it is wrong to have favorite family members.
And we can talk about that.
We can talk about that too. Yes. I totally agree, Ken. I think that, if you treat, hey, I was getting ready to say that, treat them all the same. I totally agree with that. I've always, my children, I have always told them that there is nothing that I would not do for one, or that I would do for one that I would not do for the other. I love my children all the same. I go above and beyond. Sorry, Bug trying to get my juice. I go above and beyond. Yes, I go above and beyond for all of my children, because they are important to us just the same. And so I think it is very important that, everybody feels that level of importance and that level of love that is unconditional, that is unwavering. Now, listen, just because I love you doesn't mean I have to like you all the time.
And two, oh, that's right. And two, just because you call somebody your favorite doesn't mean that you love them more than the next person.
That is so true. Yes. And you know what? Sometimes we have a connection, a certain connection with certain people in our families. That doesn't mean that we love them more. We just have kindred spirits. Right. We have kindred hearts. We think alike. Ken say some people can give 5,000, some can't. Well, so let's talk about that. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say too, and add to what I just said, that God has favor on all of us, but that doesn't mean that one is his favorite.
Ooh, that was, come on, preacher. Wait a minute.
Okay.
That is so true. God does show favor on us and impart favor into our lives. Mm-hmm. And, but that doesn't mean that I'm his favorite over you or you're his favorite over me, because guess what? At any given moment, God can pour blessings out of heaven onto me. And at any given moment, he can pour blessings out of heaven onto you. And I just have to reap the residual.
Right, or wait for your turn.
Wait for your turn. Ken says, I'll give them mangoes.
You know what? We love some mangoes.
Yes.
And
I'll take the 5,000. You give him the mangoes.
Well, I like 5,000, but he didn't put a dollar sign on that 5,000.
What, 5,000 pennies or what? We need clarity. Okay.
How many mangoes? How many mangoes? And what's 5,000?
Exactly.
Mangoes for a lifetime or 5,000 one time?
Right. Exactly. So shout out to Jariz, I believe it is. They said salam from the hood. So peace to you as well. Salam, like a salam to you as well. Thank you for joining the chat. And Ken say $5,000. Okay.
Or mangoes for a lifetime.
Wait, mangoes no, you take the mangoes for a lifetime, because I know you're gonna share with me. You give me the 5,000.
Well, we gonna be up on that 5 too now.
That's true. So he give me the 5,000.
So we both gonna be favored.
Hello, I like it.
See, that's family.
So, okay, raising a successful family. High expectations, consistent feedback, and high responsiveness to your kids or family members' needs together form what is called a winning combination of firmness and kindness. So let's talk about that. So at what point in your relationship, because a lot of parents tend to want to be their child's friend over being the disciplinarian or being their parent, and vice versa. A lot of family members, want to just be the yes person instead of being that cousin, that older cousin, or not. You don't even have to be the oldest to instill wisdom into someone else to say, let me help you understand, because that you ain't going in the right direction.
Then we go back to being favorite. A lot of people put that intention into that person so that they can be favored from that person.
That is very true. And so, but does that help or does that hinder their growth?
I think it depends on what you're looking for when you're being favored.
That is true. Okay.
Because, you may jump on someone's side because, wow, this person is the person that's in the family that's making money, making things happen. And every time, something happens, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do something for this person so I can reap any kind of benefits that may come back. That's the wrong move.
That is the wrong move.
You should be doing that for everybody.
Absolutely. So okay. So you're saying that you feel that it's wrong to do something for someone that you know is going to give you something back.
No, I'm saying that it's wrong for you to pay special attention to that one person because they are blessed, financially blessed,
right?
And you feel like if something happens, this person's going to look out for me.
Right.
You shouldn't zoom in and focus in on this one person because, that could be your come up. That's what I'm saying.
That is very true. And I totally agree with that. So Ken said 2 mangoes for the can't get right to the family. Just 2 mangoes. That's all you're getting is 2 mangoes.
I'll take the 5,000.
Nah, I'm too late. I got the 5,000.
You can say 2 before. That 2 messed me up. I got 2 mangoes in there right now.
So listen, I want to go back to what you were saying about, making sure that you treat all of your family members the same way. So we had an event, a very personal, a very happy, successful event, you and I, and we had a family member that said to us, listen, I can't bless you financially. I can't buy you a gift, but I want to do something really nice for you. And that family member came over, mowed our lawn,
yes,
blew the leaves, and we came home and was like, oh,
yeah, because we seen him on the camera.
Yes, that's right.
Like, what is all this movement on the camera?
Yes,
because when our camera triggers, it sends us a text message. So when we hear it go bling, 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 it's like, okay, somebody's at the house.
Somebody's at the house,
and we got stuff at the house that we don't. we need to protect.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, what the heck is going on? So we look, and Cousin Keith, we're gonna call you out. Cousin Keith is out there tightening us up.
Mowed the lawn, blew the leaves, and just we weren't expecting.
Yeah, we didn't expect it. He just came and did it.
Yeah, he showed up. He was like, "Listen, I can't do this, but this is what I can do." And it wasn't a conversation about, is this okay to give or is this okay to do? He was just like, "No, I know that it would be something that they would appreciate," and he came and did it. Now that's love.
That's love.
That's love. And so we appreciate stuff like that. Like, I love the fact that, because of the pandemic, we haven't done it in a while, but I love that you have a heart to give when it comes to, like, we know that family loves your cooking, no matter what it is, grits, biscuits, fish, whatever you cook, they love it. And they're like, they at the door knocking, like, I'm out here, let me get mine. And so I think that when we have a heart for being genuine toward our family, the love just feels so good.
It does feel good, but it also feels good to be the person that's giving.
That is so true, because the Bible says it's better to give than to receive. Because listen, when we give out of what we have, out of our blessings, means, and out of our blessings, the reciprocity doesn't come from that person that we're given to. The reciprocity comes from God. Now, when he reciprocates, we can't outdo him.
Right, because he knows and sees everything, and he even knows your heart.
Exactly.
Even when you want to give and you can't give, he knows your heart, and he blesses you based on your heart.
Absolutely, he does. And it's so amazing to know that when you have a heart to give, when you are the type of person that's compassionate and giving and loving and caring, that people see that in you. And then whenever there may be a time that you're in need, people don't hesitate.
Right. Because they know what you've done for them. Not that they know that, oh, well, he going to give it back. He going to do this because I did this. They know ahead of time before anything happens. They know without the setup to receive anything.
Absolutely. So let's talk. We want to hear from you. We want you to chime in. Tell us some of the things that you are doing with your family to make sure that you leave a legacy of love, that you leave a legacy of value, that, listen, gone today or tomorrow, that your family will miss you because of, or miss you, obviously because you're not here. But what are you doing on a regular basis that your family can say, oh my God, I remember when, I remember this, and what is important to you about your family?
Yeah. And what do you feel like, man, if I'm no longer here, what about me is not only the world going to miss, but your family is going to miss because you're no longer here?
Yes. I think about being on our jobs on a daily basis. And you know how people say, hey, if something happened to you today, they're going to hire somebody and be in your spot in the next week or two, and so I think about that. So I'm like, I want to be missed. I want to be thought of. I want to be remembered for being a person that is loving, caring, supportive, always engaging and present and wanting to be a part and just wanting to have good family time.
Yeah. And, when we're talking about the things that may be missed, it makes me think about the fact that just about, and I'll say 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Every time our family meets or engage, we always hug each other.
Yeah, that's important.
And there's certain people that really gives those tight, genuine hugs that you just remember and you expect. And it's like, stuff like that you miss.
That is so true. That is very true. Because I hear a lot of people say, my parents didn't hug me. We don't, they don't feel comfortable being touched because that's not how they were raised. My mom and dad didn't tell me they loved me, or, we didn't have cookouts and family reunions and eat at the dinner table. And I think that is so important to have and instill in your children, because it carries over into what their expectations are of their children when they begin to look for a mate, look for a wife or a husband. Children tend to look for someone that reminds them, like daughters, we tend to look for someone that reminds us of our dad. And men, I believe that they tend to look for someone that reminds them of their mom or an aunt or sister, or just someone that has those values that are like,
those strengths.
I could live with that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Ken, we want you to call the show. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you have to say about family. Let's talk about it. And anyone else that wants to call in, the number is 833-282-2428. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about showing consistency, building trust, ensuring that your family feels loved and safe. And I love this one. Discipline productively. That is a good one. Just beating your child just to beat them and not, having a conversation about it. I think that a lot of kids are like, I'm confused.
Yeah, because I know there's this thing about, don't spare the rod and all that. But if you're teaching a lesson, then there needs to be some type of content in that lesson.
Absolutely.
And beating somebody is not anything that's content. That's a physical action against the person that you're trying to, I guess, reroute. But there needs to be some type of lecture or information that you're giving as to a reason why this happened.
Yeah, we have a caller that's calling in. Let's see what they have to say. Welcome to
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment.
How's it going?
Hey, guys.
So what do you got to say about
the family?
Okay, what do you got to say?
Let me tell you about the family real quick.
Okay.
You get a special discount at Marhart Chevrolet.
Yes.
If you come ask for Ken Steve.
Okay. I like it.
I'll just messing with y'all. I'll take care of y'all.
Okay, we appreciate that. Listen, if you are in
but family, back to a family. There ain't nothing more special than family. I like what y'all said. Yeah, some people get that extra hug, some people don't. Some people get that extra look. Hey, I want to do something special for you, and some people don't. But it ain't a case of favoritism. It's just a case of family. I barely see you. Your reputation kind of precedes you a little bit. And then some of the family you grew up with in your whole generation, from your whole, so you it ain't favoritism, but it's just like certain distances with family members, people closer to each other, I guess closer age, closer era, closer everything. But as far as my family, I think we are very close, and man, it started from the top down.
That is so
true. Going on.
That is so true. Now, Ken, thank you for calling into the show. But let me, I'm sorry, I put the wrong thing up there. Forgive me. Let me ask you a question while we have you on the phone. So, being that you seem to be a very strong family man. So thank you for being a very strong family man. What are you working to instill in your family, whether it's your spouse, your children, your cousins, nieces, nephews? What do you feel like your value is to your family? Because a lot of people have large families. And so, loving and hugging, that may be, the platform that we all abide by. But what do you feel has been your impact, for your family?
Well, that's a great question. And I think I got a great answer, because I methodically try to be an example for being positive, being upstanding, being loving, being generous, keeping your word, being what we was raised. I got away from that in my young, but the older I got, I fell back to that as my foundation. Being religious, yes, very religious. Some people got problem with religious these days, but my foundation and how I was raised, I'm that example of the guy who pray all the time and things just work out for you. Amen. I'm that guy who always try to give from the heart and forget that I gave.
There you go.
So it's and I feel good about it. You know, just feel good about myself, feel good about all my family, and I project everything that I just said to you. I project that into every one of my interactions with my family, friends, and anybody that do see me, that don't even know me. You know, so that's what I bring to for my. That's the position I'm trying to let spread like wildfire in my family. And it ain't hard to let it spread because we all pretty much just the ones who ain't really getting it. We just gonna keep it coming their direction until they get it.
That's right.
Yeah, that was really awesome what you said, because that really hit home for me particularly. You said forget what you give, because so many people give and expect something in return, and that's the wrong kind of setup. And when you give and you give and you give until you give out. And when you're unable to give, you know, by God, you should be blessed with people giving to you at that point. But when you give and then you forget, you're not waiting for anything in return. You're just moving on.
That's right. And that's when.
And one.
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
No,
I was gonna say one more quick thing. And when you like that, believe it or not, it's like you might not never need for somebody to give you nothing, because you just keep winning, and you just, it's just like it come. Believe it or not, one thing leads to another. It come back around.
Oh yeah.
And you just get blessings on blessings on blessings.
Got that right.
That is so true. When you, like you said, when you're not worried about it, when you just keep giving, it just keeps coming back around. And that is so true. We appreciate you sharing. We appreciate you commenting. Thank you for calling into the show. And
I love the show.
Yes.
I love the show.
Thank you,
y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
Thank you.
I give y'all Emmys and Oscars and everything. Okay, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate the call.
All right, take care. We got Emmys and Oscars and everything. I like it. Thank you, Ken, for calling into the show. If you want to, share your comment, make sure you call us 833-282-2428. We want to hear from you. That was so awesome.
Yeah,
I love what he said, about giving and not worrying about it.
Just forget it, because, if you're a giver, you're doing it from the heart anyway.
Yes.
And when you're giving and expecting something in return, you're not doing it from the heart. You're doing it to gain.
That's so true.
That's the wrong attitude. And how can you be blessed when you're always doing something just to receive something back? That
is so true. And God knows the intent of your heart. So you wonder why, if he says, don't give with a grudge. Never give begrudgingly, because there's no value in it anyway. You know what I mean?
And if it's not in your heart to give, you know what?
Keep it.
Keep it. Maybe don't give.
Yeah.
And then when you look at your life and you see that things haven't come back to you, because what comes around goes around,
you have to reevaluate.
And then you need somebody later on in your life, but you've never given anything.
Hello.
Then you wonder why everybody ate.
Exactly. And you know what? I have to 1000% agree with Ken when he said, some family members they haven't gotten it yet.
Right.
They don't understand it yet. But it's not for us to judge them. It's just for us to continue to be ourselves, to continue to love, because their time is coming where they're going to get it.
Right.
It may take them a little longer, which is fine, because we don't all get it at the same time.
Right.
And I also love what he said about, growing up, that these types of morals and values were instilled in him. And then from a long time ago. And then he had a moment, where he was not doing what he was taught to do. However, as he got older, he realized that, wait a minute, now, hold on. I'm praying all the time and doing the right thing and being upstanding. That's where my blessings have been coming from. So I need to go back to that thing that I was learned, that thing that was instilled in me, because I want God to continue to bless me. I think that's what I live by every day.
And when you're true to yourself, you feel good.
Yes.
When you're that person.
Absolutely. When you have a heart of integrity, a heart of giving, a heart of compassion, that feels good.
Yeah. And another thing he said too is, like when you go to a cookout or a family gathering or something like that, everybody don't hug each other the same way.
That's
everybody don't even hug.
Right.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But when you're a child and you look at your parents or your environment, and they basically don't do the hugging to you. They don't give you that kind of love. But then you go somewhere else with them and they show somebody else that kind of love. Yeah. That's damaging.
That is very true. Because they see it.
They see it and they know and they feel like, oh, I guess that's just the way of life. I hug all my friends. We always hug. But when I'm around my parents and my family, no one really hugs. But then when I go somewhere in public with my family, they're hugging their friends.
Right.
So what's wrong with that picture?
That is so true. That is so true. I think that when we get to the point that we can love each other unconditionally, and a hug doesn't cost us anything.
No, it doesn't. It actually makes you feel real good.
It does make you feel good.
I like hugging, even dudes, hey, what's up, dude? You get a little hug, a little pat on the back, bam, release. Don't hug and hold on now. Too long. I'm just saying. And no hip action, guys. Right. I'm just saying, just bam, bam, and let it go. Because you hold on too long, then you may be in a different group. But anyway, but it's different when you're hugging your family, though.
That is very true.
You can hug and embrace a family member, but a friend, that's a little different.
Right.
That's your friend, a family member. Man, I love you, man. Boom, let it go.
And you know what? We always say that you never know what people are going through, and your hug can make a difference in their entire day. Like, I go to work every day and I have an amazing supervisor. She's awesome. Love working with her. My coworkers, they're all amazing. But when I do things for my CEO, and I know he says it to everybody, but because I do so much for him on a daily basis, he says things like, "You're awesome. Wow, you're smart. Oh, you're the best. You rock. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you." And it's like, that's the type of person he is. However, when I do something for him and he says it to me, it's like, hey, that made me feel good.
Right.
I appreciate that he, acknowledged that I did something.
So imagine that feeling coming to you.
Right.
And imagine what your child, your niece, your nephew would feel if you gave the same type of comments to them.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Mr. Michael Mack.
Yeah. He played football for me.
Okay.
He did some things.
He did some things.
Yes.
I don't know what he did.
Quite a few positions.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He was running the field.
Very dependable.
Okay.
Very
Come
dependable.
on, Michael Mack.
Yeah. about 6'2".
Okay.
Running back.
Nice.
Receiver. Defense. I mean, I could depend on him.
You sound like a proud coach.
I'm a proud coach. I've put a lot of years in, and I've gained some very good, strong relationships. And just like now, what we're talking about, I instilled the same type of respect and confidence between the relationships with my players, because I know from a lot of them, they looked at me as a father figure, uncle figure, whatever you want to call it, figure. They really respected me because I showed them respect.
I love that. So now that we have Michael in the chat with us, so Michael, if you want to chime in, you want to say something about Coach TW, anything he instilled in you. We're talking about family. We're talking about, not necessarily someone that has the same last name or the same bloodline, but like he said, a coach. I've read in the paper, in the news, statistics say that a coach is 3 times more likely to leave an impression on a player than their own parents.
Yeah, it's a different kind of love. It's a different kind of relationship.
Yeah. So, Michael, we want to hear from you. If you want to call in, if you want to put it in the chat, the number is 833-282-2428. We want to talk about family, what values you feel have been instilled in you. And if you have a family of your own, what values you are instilling in your own children, and not just your children, your spouse, your nieces, your loved ones, your mom. A lot of people out there go out of their way to make sure that they stop by and see their mom, stop by and see their sister, spend time with their cousins, spend time with their niece. And to me, I think that is some of the most valuable family time that anyone can give. I'm not coming over here to do anything. I don't need you to come over to my place and do anything. I just want to spend time, that quality time. Just
be under the same roof.
Right.
And sometimes it's not even I'm coming over to do anything. I just want to be in your space.
I want to be in your space. Let's laugh. Let's have a good time. Let's talk about anything, or let's not talk about talk about nothing and just shoot the breeze. It doesn't have to be specific. Let's just spend time. So Michael says T-Dub definitely did that with all his players.
Yeah. Respect given is respect earned.
That is so true.
And I never had to worry about any of my players disrespecting me.
That's awesome. And listen, that's a lot of guys playing on a team to have that respect and to have that level of expectation of each other, because, you know, like you said, respect given is respect earned. And it's not a must, or it's not something, oh, you walk into, I'm the oldest one, so you have to respect me. No, you have to treat people the way that you want to be treated.
And don't jump down their throat because you feel like, oh, I'm at the top of the heap. Because I was a head coach and the owner, and I'm the kind of person that don't have an ego where I feel like I need to boss anybody around. You don't get respect by talking down to people.
No, you do not.
Absolutely not. And I know that my players were men as well. They were human beings as well. And some people just take their roles way too far. And when you don't get respect and you don't give respect, it doesn't last long.
That is so true.
I've coached probably over 400 players over a course of 10 years, and I love each one of them.
Okay.
Some of them have gotten in trouble.
Right.
You know what? And I still, as people, me knowing them and having a feel for their heart, I still feel like, man, if I could have just did one more year, I could have avoided, I kept them avoid going down that road, but it's always good to hear something very positive about a player that I've, dealt with. Because I dealt with semi-pro football and little league football. So imagine all the lives that I was able to touch.
Absolutely.
And just be proud. And that was one of my biggest rewards, is just being able to touch these players and be a part of their lives.
That is so awesome. And shout out to you for having that kind of heart and wanting to spend that type of time to instill and invest into these young men. Michael says that you are a role model and you've always been willing to give. And he says you will always give advice and time, you name it. He said, one of the reasons why I am tuned into this show right now. Oh, I'm
appreciate that. Appreciate that, Matt.
That is so awesome. And a lot of times, when we spend time with other people, it doesn't set in right then, So time is not wasted or in vain. But as they get older, they be like, I remember my coach used to tell us such and such, and I remember when coach did this and coach did that, and you be sitting back like, I didn't even know y'all was paying attention. You know what I mean? So it's like, I was saying all that stuff, but it was like, I was getting, all right, yes, sir, yes, sir. But it's like, yeah, you're saying yes, sir, but are you really listening? Are you really getting it? Are you really paying attention? Am I really making a difference? Am I really making an impact? And then, like you said, you see Michael on the show right now. He says, one of the reasons why I'm tuned into the show right now is because of the respect that he has for you and the time and advice and the attention that you paid to them back then.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at how many people don't look like they're paying attention. This is children too.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed at how many people don't look like or have the actions toward paying attention to what you're doing, but they know every single thing you're doing. Yes. And that goes to parents and God, step parents and all this kind of stuff. You're in relationships and these kids are dealing with domestic violence and situations where it's like, oh, is that the solution? They're paying attention whether you know it or not. Even if they look like they minding their own business, or they're in their bedroom with the door closed, they are paying attention. So be careful what you do around your children.
Yes.
It's very important that every action you take
is thought out.
Yeah.
And timing.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. A lot of times we get upset and this is not just for parents with children. This is in relationship in general. You can apply this across the board. A lot of times we get angry or we get upset and we say things we shouldn't say. We say things we don't mean. But remember, once you say something, you cannot take it back. Whether you apologize, whether you're sorry or whatever, you have already scarred that person's heart. And so it's important that we take time to think, simmer down, meditate on the situation, think about what we're going to say, because once we allow those words to come out of our mouths, we have then written that into their journal of life.
Because really, literally, some things you do not forget.
Yes.
You can write it down and read it.
Mm-hmm.
That reading is going to be in your head. So be careful of
Yeah.
what you say and what you do and what you write, because what they say, words are more powerful, actions are more powerful.
That's so true.
So
I'm going to share this. I remember growing up in a home where I had a stepdad, and shout out to my stepdad. He was an awesome stepdad. He still is. And I give him those props. But when he first came, I won't say when he first came into my life. I probably say about maybe 3 or 4 years into our stepdaughter relationship. When I would do something that he didn't like, he would call me Miss. Hey, Miss. Miss, what are you doing? And oh my God, I hated hearing that, because to me it was a condescending tone. It was a condescending word, and I hated it. And I never told him how much I disliked it. I just made it my business to prove to him that I was better than the person he thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was a tug of war type of relationship where, I'm stepdad, I'm the man of the house now, you don't get to just say and do and act and be and want and need and have and blah, blah, blah. And so it was like, I can see that he's trying to, post his position, stake his claim in the home and in the relationship. But I wanted him to know that I wasn't a bad child. I wasn't the type of person that was gonna embarrass him or make him feel bad about being my stepdad, And so I made it my business to not act out or lash out. I made it my business to be better. And to this day, he never, sorry. To this day, he never says that he has a stepdaughter and 2 daughters. He has 2 biological daughters that he created with, I have a baby sister, my mom, and then he has another daughter. But I am the oldest of 3 girls. And to this day, 40 years later, he has never told anyone that he has a stepdaughter. He always calls me his daughter, and he will go to the mountaintop, to the valley, to do anything for me. He has the utmost respect for me. He values my heart. He values my opinion. He listens to what I have to say. He honors me as his daughter. He goes above and beyond to do anything I ask him to do. And when I tell you that, that has made a major impact in my life, and he has been an amazing stepdad. And when I call his phone, he's so happy to hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
awesome.
I just think that, just because you are the stepmom or the dad number 2 or mom number 2 or whatever you want to call it, the bonus dad or whatever the titles that they give, doesn't mean that you have to treat that child like they're the stepchild or they're the extra child you just got to take care of. And that, because of his relationship with me and what he has been to me, I think that is one of the main reasons why I have been able to be present for Shanice. And I think that's why it's important to me to tell her I love her, to tell her, I'm here for you. There's no difference between my kids, your kids. We have kids.
Right.
We have children together. And when people ask, we have 4 kids. You don't need to know that, I have how many, you have how many, we got this, we have that. We have children because there is nothing that we wouldn't do for any of them.
Right. And I think that's really, really important, is not to feel like you're the third wheel because you're not the biological.
Exactly.
So and for some of you folks that don't know, Shanice is my biological daughter. And then we have 3 children on the biological side of Natasha, which is Bree, BJ, and Jayla. I had to make sure they were in order because Bree done called me. Why you putting me third or something? So,
yes, she will.
Right. But we look at them all, as our children.
Yeah.
And even them knowing that just makes them feel like they're not the third wheel. They're not the outcast. They're not the person that's not thought of. When it's, a holiday like Mother's Day or Father's Day or something like that, we all get that respect. And that's important because those days like that, there's certain people, like Father's Day or Mother's Day, there's certain people that if nobody else wish you a happy Father's Day or Mother's Day, there's certain people
that's so true
that you are just waiting for to send you that text message or call.
Yeah, and after you get that text message, you're like, all right, I had a good Mother's
I'm
Day.
good.
I'm good. I had a good Father's Day.
Everything's covered. All bases covered. So but even saying that, it's always awesome to hear that happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day from anybody and everybody, because being a father and being a mother, it's hard work. When you're doing it.
Yes, it is hard work.
It's hard work.
Let me listen. Shout out to the moms and the dads and the step in moms, the step in dads,
step up,
that's right. I like that. The step up moms, the step up dads that are doing their thing, and being a good parent, setting examples, being a good role model, being available. What's important to me is because a lot of parents are parents because they have had a child, but not necessarily present parents.
Right. They're mothers and fathers, but not moms and dads.
Yes. So, we have so many opportunities to correct what we haven't been doing right. And if you haven't, if you evaluate your motherism, your fatherism, I don't even know if that's a word, your motherhood, your fatherhood, and you realize that you have opportunity for growth, you have opportunity for change, today is not too late. Today is a good day to start. And even if that child, is not ready to receive, or you feel some sort of rejection, I want to encourage you not to give up, not just on your children, but on your family members, because a lot of us have family members that we need to connect more with. There's something about our family members that has kept us from connecting. There's always opportunity, even if you just send a text saying, hey, cuz, I love you. Hey, bro, I'm thinking about you. Hey, sis, hope you have a great day. That makes a lot of people's day. Like I make it my business to reach out to all of our children on a consistent basis to say, I love you. Hope you have a great day. Not that you have to call me back and we have to talk for 30 minutes or whatever, but I make it my business to make sure that I'm reaching out and saying, I want them to have that special text message or that Marco Polo or the WhatsApp or the FaceTime or the tech, whatever it is, to let them know that I'm thinking about them.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
How long, because this may help our audience as well, how long does it take you to send a text message to a child to say, I love you?
I'm going to put a realistic number on it. It takes about 10 seconds.
Okay, so folks, 10 seconds out of a whole day.
Let me see. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Or a whole week.
Pull up their name.
Is it really that difficult to send something to your child, your niece, your nephew, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt? Is it really that difficult for you to take? I'm going to give you 15 just in case you have to search through all your contacts if they're not, one of your favorites. Does it really take that long? Is it that much out of your time of your day to pick up your phone, because you don't have to call them and have a whole conversation.
That's so true.
But just to pick up a phone and just type, I love you, I heart you, or ILY or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Does it take that long to just do that and hit send?
Yeah.
And wait for it to come right back at you?
No, it doesn't.
And if it doesn't come back at you, then you know what? It's about giving, not receiving.
Absolutely. Because a lot of times you don't know
what they got going on.
Like I know, for example, our son BJ, my son stays at the basketball court. Okay, so I'm calling, texting, and everything else, and he's shooting, free throws. He dropping threes and stuff, and I'm like, boy, I'm worried about you. I'm gonna need you to call me back. I was playing basketball. Can you take a break or something? Because I need you to be looking at your text messages. Because when I get worried about you, I start panicking and all this old stuff. But he at the basketball court.
Which is where he normally is. Either work or basketball.
Yes. Yeah. So listen, take time to love on your family. Instill some amazing love into them. It is so important that we give love, show love, be an example of love, express love, and sometimes just hearing, you know what, I love you.
I love you. You know what?
Makes my heart just
right. Or simply something as simple as, and this is me to you. I really appreciate.
Oh, don't make me cry.
You, because no matter what I do, you are always there to lend 2 hands, 2 feet, and your mind. And you don't get that with every friend, every spouse, even your children. You really don't get that with all of them. A lot of times you kind of brace yourself to ask certain people to do certain things.
That's true.
And me, I know all I got to do is say, this is what I'm doing. And I know without asking you that you are already in.
I am.
And I really appreciate you for that. And
well,
I love you.
I love you too.
And I'm going to text you that too. See how long that's going to take.
You do that.
That's 15 seconds. Shoot, 15 seconds.
Listen.
And that includes picking up my phone.
That is very true. It doesn't take that long.
It really don't.
Ken just said Tanya just texted her loved ones and told them she loved. Hey, that's what we're here to do. We're here to encourage people to do great things, to be positive, to love each other, to send love. And so good for you, Tanya. Let me give you.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. Yeah, but it feels good. You know what I mean? It feels good.
And you do it not to receive one back. You just do it. And if something comes back, then that's awesome. That's awesome. That's like icing on top of the icing on the cake.
Icing
you know, if something comes back, but don't do it to receive anything back. Do it, give to give.
Absolutely. And you know what? I want to reciprocate and say how much I appreciate you. Because vice versa, you know, even with this podcast, guys, I had a desire to start a podcast. I wanted to have conversation, talk about family, children, love, relationship, community. And if you don't know, I am an advocate for domestic violence, and I speak about it and share about it and want people to know that we're thinking of them if they have ever experienced anything like that. And so all I had to do was say the word, and you jumped into action, made it happen, started doing the research for everything that we needed. And here we are 2 seasons later, episode number 7. This is our 42nd episode since we started this last August of 2020. And I so appreciate you. You are an amazing person, even beyond just being my better half. You are an amazing person. I love your heart. I love how you give. I love how you profess your love for me, how you are an example of what a good man looks like, does. You know, your actions are just like on fleek. I know that's not a word anymore. The young people gonna get.
But we can use it. We can use it.
Okay, we can use it. Okay.
Our audience knows. They probably still use that stuff.
They do. I know they do.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And it you know what? And what you said about me always, you know, whenever you have something going on, all you have to do is say it, and I'm there to be like, okay, what we need to do. You know, I think that the both of us do that for each other because I want to be everything that you need, everything you want, everything you desire, and not have to look for it anywhere else. And I believe that you give me, or you have that same desire when it comes to me. It's like, you know, oh, you need somebody to help you with this? I got you.
Why look somewhere else?
Exactly.
God bless me.
Yes.
With 2 arms.
Yep.
2 hands. 2 legs. God bless me with an abundance of health.
Yes.
And thank God I'm not a sickly person that gets sick all the time. But I really ever get sick.
Yeah.
And it is a blessing. And it's a blessing to be able to be there for you, be there for other people.
Absolutely.
Because I'm a giver.
Absolutely. And we loving and showing love and giving love.
Amen.
That's what we do. So listen, if you have not sent a text message, made a phone call, an email, a Facebook post, the Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever platform you use to communicate, send some love to your family. Make sure they know you're thinking about them. It doesn't take but, we said, 15 seconds to open up your phone, look for their name, and send a text. It will make you feel better, and it will make you feel even more better if they say something back. you know, and if they don't say anything back, it makes you feel good. If they say something back, it's going to make you feel so much better.
Right.
And so, you know, I just want you to just show some love. We love family. We got Nick Watts in the chat.
Yeah, he's a recording artist.
Okay.
I work with, you know, on some stuff. Yes. He's and I like to shout out people that, you know, tune in. But Nick Watts, he was one of those young producers that created beats and stuff, and he's pretty talented, and it's good to see. And I hope he's still doing it, because his talent level was like up there with, man, this could be on the radio.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm sure he's still doing it, but it's good to see your name pop up, Nick, man. You all right.
He called you a goat.
Well, you know, I've been in the game for a long time. But you see that fire behind that, though.
I see the fire. Okay, you the greatest of all time. I get it. All right.
Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm still in the game, still producing, still recording. We're actually working on an album now that's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be,
and we may release it during a concert that we're gonna do. Instead of releasing it, selling it, and then inviting you to the concert. We're going to let the first people that actually come to the concert be able to buy the actual album or get links to the download first.
Yes. As I have said before, if you've been on the chat, if you haven't been on the chat, let me just say it, that we are working on a gospel project that is going to be lit. This is what, our fourth project that we're working on together.
Yeah, if you don't count all the singles that we've done.
Right, we're not counting the singles. We are counting the actual projects that we're releasing. This will be the fourth one.
Yeah.
And I have been excited about all of them. We still listen to all of the music that we've created together. But this particular project, we have put so much love and effort and thought into it and prayed about it. And I'm telling you, this is one that I am super excited about. I mean, every song is heartfelt. Every beat is like made with love and compassion and thought provoking. I mean, just the lyrics alone are going to just make you want to either praise or worship or make you think about the goodness of God.
Some good stuff.
Yes. And we are super excited about it. So we're going to be releasing it soon. We want you to stay tuned, stay locked, make sure you pay attention to what's going on, because we do not want you to miss out on the fact that we got some good music coming out. You're gonna want to bump this in your car.
You're gonna be recording tomorrow.
You don't know God, you're gonna want to know Jesus. Get you some Jesus.
Get one of them in your life.
Get God, Jesus, you know.
Get that in your spirit.
Get that in your spirit. So listen, we want you to subscribe to Beyond the Chat. Make sure you share this video with your loved ones, your family, your friends, co-workers, your neighbors, everybody. And we want you to know that we so appreciate you for tuning in to Beyond the Chat. We are here every Sunday at 6 p.m. You want to help keep the show going? Cash App is at the bottom of the page. We so appreciate you. And we will see you next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Y'all know what to do. Hey, I'm your girl, Natasha Cash.
And I'm T-Dub in the building.
Hey. Come on. We keep it plain, we keep it real, we really get down to it. You know the drill. From the bottom to the top. Stay tuned, make sure you stay locked. We go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're not just talk, we go. Yeah. We're not just talk, we go. We go. Peace.